brand's message. What is that message, and how do you get suburban voters to reconnect with it?
2 minutes, Glenn Youngkin.
Great. Daniel, thank you for that most critical question. In order for us to win in November, we are going to have to do so much better in Northern Virginia, in Virginia Beach, and in suburban Richmond. Great thing is, I was born in Richmond, I grew up in Virginia Beach, and I've been in Northern Virginia for 27 years. I think the first thing we have to do is recognize that demographic shifts have so changed in these areas, and we must reconnect. I've had a concentrated outreach program since we launched our campaign. I'll tell you a quick story. I was with a very large minority group, and remember that in Northern Virginia, more than 50% of the population is non-white. I was with one of the leading minority groups, and we had a long meal talking about shared values, shared conservative values. And this group said, Glenn, we're with you. But you know, you're the first candidate since Bob McDonald to come visit us. Friends, this is the problem. That Republicans across Virginia haven't listened, they haven't engaged, and they haven't recognized that there are shared values that pull us all together, that are actually conservative Republican values, and yet so many people have felt left out. We also have to appeal to women in a very, very different way. Women who say that they actually are Republicans have moved away from the party. We have to bring them back. That's why last week my wife launched Women for Glenn. And we have had women stand up across the Commonwealth and join us because we know that women are the backbone of the Republican Party. And therefore, women in Northern Virginia, in Hampton Roads, in suburban Richmond, but across the entire Commonwealth have joined us. It is these big constituencies that we must reconnect with. And I will do this as your nominee. And I will win in November, and we will actually restore Virginia to her rightful place as the best state in America to live and work and raise a family. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn. Let's go now to Delegate Kurt Cox.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. I come from the bluest Republican district in the state. If you've never been through a campaign yourself, where you have $1.5 million in a House race put against you by every big Democrat outside group you can think of, 30% minority. And we did a lot of the things you have to do. I think a lot of it's your reputation. But I knocked on over 8,000 doors. I went in those communities. I went in communities where it was a 10% Republican precinct. And we did talk about those shared values. They want good schools for their kids. They very much want public safety. They're wonderful people. Republicans don't talk to them. We just don't show up. And that has been a fault of ours. Northern Virginia is a key battleground. And it's the same thing with the Asian American community, or the Korean community, or the Indian community. I mean, they're furious about their schools not being open. They're furious that Thomas Jefferson Governor's School will no longer, in the Democrats' view, in the future be merit-based, but just be this open enrollment. And there's so many issues that we can address with people. And let's also be honest, under one-party Democratic control, we now see what Democrats do, both on the federal level and on the state level. And Virginians have been exposed to that. And you'll see a sea change, I feel like, in attitudes with people, because they've actually seen what those policies mean to them as far as higher taxes and energy and all those various things. Law enforcement, they've devastated law enforcement when you think about it. They want to take your SROs out of your schools. And so we have a lot to run on, but I feel like I'm the candidate in this race who's shown that I actually can win in that type of tough district. I have a great women's coalition. I've had a Latino coalition, et cetera, and we're talking to them. And the last thing I'll say this is, you got to listen a little bit. Republicans don't do a good job of that. We tend to have all the answers. You need to go and listen to people where they're at and deal with their kitchen table issues.
Thank you, Kurt.